everybody, Invisiblekatana here doing a live reaction for Star Wars Rebels Season 3 Episode 20, Twin Suns. I thought this was all going to be in the season finale, so I was very surprised to learn that this was its own episode, and next week we get the season finale, which I will also be doing a live reaction for that as well. But I had to do one for this. It's Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul. It's all I've been thinking about. I got the house to myself right now, so I got my hat. I actually switched shirts for this. I got my little Star Wars Mario Kart mashup shirt. Got my lightsaber. So I'm ready to watch a really good freaking episode and just enjoy myself. That's pretty much it. So that's what we're gonna do. And just I'm just excited. I'm freaking excited. I like Sam Witwer as an actor. I should mention that now because based on what I'm assuming, by the end of this episode, it's going to be a minute before I see him or hear his voice again. So just assuming. I like Sam Witwer.
No. I must draw Kenobi out. Tent his noble heart. But how?
I'm like, what is he thinking? Very ominous. Yeah, I knew it was going to do that. So, I'm already super excited. It just, the fact that it just starts with Darth Maul just has me really freaking excited. So, I don't really know what to expect outside of kind of the ending of this episode. I think we all knew where it was headed. Very unfortunate, but I think we know where it's headed. And simply put, that's a little bit unfortunate for one particular character that I think a lot of people enjoy. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's hard to imagine multiple outcomes for this, but I think I know where it's headed. And just in case, I want to move this over a little bit to make sure you guys have enough room to actually, for me to even be able to put the thing in there. So I'll make sure that I adjust that when I start it up again. But here we go. I don't know what here we go is, but here we go. You guys think there's any chance we might actually get a three-way duel? I highly doubt that. It's going to end Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, but I would love to see Ezra involved in this battle somehow. And obviously he will be. He'll at least be used as bait. So we'll see how this this odd relationship between Ezra and Maul comes to an end. Possibly. I want to keep saying that, but
Then I order out with dark shadows, Master Obi-Wan. This message is a warning for any surviving Jedi. A new hope will emerge. A new hope.
references. So you know there's got to be a lot of rage in there when him screaming reaches across the galaxy like that.
So what do you think sense, Kanan.
I couldn't really guess. Holocrons at times take on a life of their own, but as to what it means.
It means Master Kenobi could be alive and in danger right now.
Ezra, no one would like to believe General Kenobi's alive more than I would. But Senator Organa confirmed his death.
Maybe he was wrong. We know Maul went looking for
That's
Master
interesting.
Kenobi. This could be a sign that he's closing in on it.
Or it could just be a broken recording.
That doesn't explain why I heard Maul's voice.
But you've heard it before. You've heard it before, and it was just a trick. Maul was manipulating you.
I want to go to Tatooine to check things out.
Ezra, can I have a word with you?
I'm so amped up right now. All I can think of is how this is gonna end.
On Lothal, and nobody knows that place better than you. I need you to help us prepare if we're going to be successful.
But Hera, if Master Kenobi is alive, think of what he could do for the rebellion.
If he was alive, do you think he would be hiding on some backwater world instead of helping us? I wish things were different. I really do. But right now, I need you here. There's too much at stake for Lothal and for us.
It's a very interesting perspective that they have,
I know.
not knowing, the truth behind everything that's happening. It's just really crazy to think that type of stuff. I've never even considered that, with people being like, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. He consider, any main character is always important, but he's one of the, biggest characters in this universe. And
Some munitions for the A-Wings.
people just think he's gone. That's crazy.
Who sent him over?
AP-5.
Ah, AP-5. Yeah, that calculator's working overdrive these days. Can I see the manifest?
Hey, any of the fighters run fully loaded?
Well, the trainer's prepped. Been using it a lot lately with the newer recruits. Well, everything seems in order. No surprise there. Well, why don't you take them over to... Hey, what are you doing?
It's funny? I feel like he could have just walked over to that and be like, I'm just checking something, considering how nonchalant that guy was as he's bolting towards this thing. He's like, hey, what's happening?
You're not authorized. Stop!
I don't know what's happening.
Hera, I hope you can forgive me.
Don't go away. Star Wars Rebels will be right back.
Alright. I'm probably just going to shoot right to the next part of the episode. There's not many guesses. Like with the season finale, last time it was like, okay, first off, Maul showed up in the season finale, so there are a million different things to guess. For this, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting in anticipation. I think we know where it's headed, and I hate being confident about a character death, especially knowing, because it's a villain character, that makes it even more likely. I could be wrong. I would love to be wrong, and then there's like some crazy twist thrown out there, and I don't know, Maul is somewhere out there. Who knows? I mean, as much as he survived, I don't know. I saw something on Twitter where someone's like, as many times as he should have died, he'll probably be in episode 9. So I don't know, but I'm just excited. Wherever we're headed, I'm looking forward to it. So not too many predictions or guesses or anything like that. I think I know how it's going to end. It's hard to say where it's going to go as far as the clips I've seen. The only stuff I saw was like the promo where it's just Obi-Wan sitting at a campfire and then Darth Maul shows up. So I'm like, there's still a lot in between there, considering, we have Ezra headed off. I would assume we're going to have the rest of the crew, going after him. So it's really hard to say, but we'll see what the heck happens. And also, they're going to Tatooine for the first time in this series, which is insane.
Here I am. Tatooine.
Oh, Chopper's just in this shot. How did he do that? I thought for sure he was going to warn them and let them know, be the first one to tell them. Wow.
No, you
That little droid is
How did
fast.
you get here? I mean in the ship. I didn't want any of you to be involved, not this time. Yeah, I know you can take care of yourself. You know what? You're right. Not that you have a choice now. I don't know where we're going. Yet. Okay, Master Kenobi. If you're down there, show me something. Jump. Take a seat. I'll let you know when to change course.
This heading into the season finale as well, I'm really curious how dark things are about to get for Ezra, considering that was a big part of Maul in general coming back, not just a super cool character, but he had a real impact on Ezra, and they haven't touched too much on that this season. Not as much as I thought they would, as far as him, being darker, and Maul is always a good catalyst for that, so that's something I hadn't really considered. I didn't even... Honestly, it was Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Maul. My brain was pretty much centered around just the little clip that we have of the bonfire scene. That was pretty much all I was thinking. I wasn't even thinking how anybody else would factor into that, because it's the two of them fighting, and that's all that mattered in life. So I didn't really even remotely have any speculations for what was going to happen in this episode or anything like that. But I mean, I feel like that's what we're going to get. I'm hoping that's what we get. I don't know what we're going to get, but whatever it is, I'm going to love it by the time we get to the end of this episode. But I mean, we have two very opposing forces here. Obviously, the light and the dark. And Ezra, of course, leans towards one side, but we've seen him on multiple occasions kind of flipping back and forth. So who knows what we're about to get.
This is a trap!
Oh, okay. That's not how I thought he would set that trap. Admittedly, I assumed he was just gonna... I mean, he's a Sith. I just assumed he would betray Ezra. That is a cool way to bring him out, to reference A New Hope, though, because that's how we got introduced to Obi-Wan before. It's the Sand People came in, so that's actually really cool. I love how you pushed him like that. Oh. So maybe this is going closer to what I thought it was going to be, because like I said, I assumed he was just going to take Ezra, so...
Well, that explosion must have scared them off.
See what happens, I guess.
What else can we do? We have to go forward.
I wonder what's going to happen with Darth Maul's lightsaber in this one. Because for some reason I have this really odd feeling that somehow it'll get passed on to Ezra, which is really scary to think of, but for some reason that's in my head. Like, I don't know, with their odd relationship, even, Obi-Wan Kenobi might not,
Crossing the sands is a bad idea.
even he might not be able to convince Ezra to change his mind on taking it. Even if it's just symbolic as a lightsaber, it's still...
Okay, we can head along the road.
It's still something,
Chop, you see that? It's gone. It was Maul. It had to be. He's close. Look, we have to go that way. I'm sorry, Chop, but I have to help Master Kenobi if I can. I'm sure if you follow the ridge, you'll find a settlement. And maybe you can contact home base.
Like, if he doesn't follow him, this is really it. Like, it's about to get real bad if he doesn't follow him. Yeah, okay. Because it'll just be darker if Chopper decides to take off, and it's like, oh, that's one little step closer to the darkness. must have eyes of steel because he didn't blink at all with all that sand flying past his face. It's just like the force is so strong in his eyeballs. It's a visually striking episode for sure. I mean, Lothal is the desert planet for this series, but not like this. I mean, it's crazy. We really haven't seen, like, a vast desert for quite a while. We haven't seen that since the clones first came in, and even then, it wasn't as drastic as this, where it's like, they're just stuck in the desert. And now we have this.
Hey, Chopper! This is my fault. I should have just stayed home. I don't know what to do.
It's definitely a visually striking episode for sure. I just love the open plain, and just like that shot, that type of shot just looks good to me. Alright, that admittedly scared me. Oh man, oh come on. I mean, I figured it was gonna fade to black. Man, I want to see Obi-Wan. Whew. There's not much left in this episode either. It's crazy to think this is almost the end of the episode, but it's so incredibly close. It's insane that this is where it's about to end. And I mean, my timer's at 22 minutes, and it's a 30-minute episode, and I'm wondering now if this is going to be a tease where they don't end up fighting at the end of this episode. I'll be a little sad. I'll be very sad. But that just means we get to see an hour of it in the finale, so that's what I was hoping for anyway. So it's kind of a give and take if that's what's about to happen. But before I get back to this, I do have to cut my camera off because my timer is really dumb and I have to cut it really fast. But I'm going to cut it and then we'll come right back to it. And I'm assuming this will be the end of the episode, and we'll see what we get. But maybe that little posing thing is going to be like our actual cutoff, and then I'll nerd out and be super pumped for the finale, which I'm already excited, especially now thinking about that. It kind of makes me hope that they don't fight now, and then we get an hour of fighting next week. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I got to cut my camera and then I'll turn it right back on. So we're back into it, and we'll see what happens. We got Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're going to get our first official glimpse, even though you've probably seen him in the trailers a million times. But we're going to get to see Obi-Wan Kenobi. And we'll get to hear him talk. I hadn't considered that, but we're getting the former actor back from Clone Wars. So that's really awesome, too. At least I'm assuming we are. I didn't actually look it up. I just assumed it would be the same guy, and he would just do an older sounding Kenobi. Excuse me.
You're in the wrong place, Ezra Bridger.
Master? Master Kenobi?
He kind of sounds like the...
And when you have your strength, I will help you on your way.
He sounds like the original actor. I can't think of his name, but from A New Hope.
To warn you.
About Maul.
Yes. You know?
One doesn't survive as long as I have by being foolish or unprepared.
Oh, his lightsaber.
Maul is an old adversary.
He's always had one of my favorite style of lightsabers.
We could fight him together.
I had no intention of fighting him, though that seems inevitable now.
You don't understand. You're the answer. The holograms told me. They said you would be the one to help us destroy the Sith.
That's the first I've heard of it.
The rebellion needs you. We need you to defeat the Empire.
What you need, you already have. Unfortunately, you seem to be letting it all go.
But if I had what I needed, why would the holocrons send me to you?
They didn't. Maul did. Maul used your desire to do good to deceive you. And
Constant manipulation.
Altered the course of many things. He knows your fears, your heart, and he manipulated the truth, which has led you here, where you should never have been.
But the holocrons, they tell the truth.
Do they? The truth is often what we make of it. You heard what you wanted to hear, believed what you wanted to believe. And
Saw it
now
from
the
a
only
certain
one
point
who's
of view.
gained anything from all of this is me. You must go now.
I led him to you. Let me make it right.
That is not your responsibility. I will mend this old wound.
They can't fight in like 3 minutes, right? My timer's...
That is your way out. Your way home.
I love that Chopper was able to turn off that burning jet just in time.
Soon, apprentice. Look what has become of you. A rat in the desert.
Look what I have risen above.
I've come to kill you, but perhaps it's worse to leave you here, festering in your squalor.
If you define yourself by your power to take life, the desire to dominate, to possess, then you have nothing.
I wish I could accurately portray how fast my heart is beating.
Why come to this place? Not simply to hide. Oh, you.
I didn't think about this.
Yeah. Perhaps you are protecting something.
It's like Return of the Jedi.
No. Protecting someone.
What if they just clashed and it went straight to the end and it was like, bah, 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 bah. It might actually do that. Whoa.
Tell me.
I did not see that coming.
The chosen one.
He is.
He will avenge us.
Wow. That is not at all how I thought that was about to go. I, of course, would have loved a much more epic fight, but for two characters like that, I don't mind a poignant ending like that. That was a very samurai-esque, you know, they've already had all their battles, and that was like that final slash right there, and I can totally accept that. As much as I was looking forward to a crazy over-the-top battle, this is one of those rare circumstances where I didn't need to see it. Like, that really surprised me, too. I mean, man, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he just, boom, done. But that was good. That was
Tell me this means what I wanted to make.
sad to see Darth Maul go like that. In general, it's
Well,
never rooted for a villain so much in my life.
I was wrong. This is where I'm supposed to be. You're my family. And we should go home.
even Chopper got in on that. Wow, you never see Chopper do the pat on the back sort of deal. Man. That has to be the audio from the movie, right? Still got a little bit of brown up here. Man. That was a very good ending. I know you guys can still hear it, but it's just the theme. That was really good. I mean, like I said, I was very surprised by the way that it ended because I certainly wasn't expecting it to be such a flash battle like that. But it works. It's really weird. It's one of those things where looking on the history of these two characters that are very huge, these very important two characters who have had so many insane battles, most of which involving a lot of splitting in half now that I think about it. He's got his horizontal and now he's got his vertical. But it was really good. Like, I like that final, just the final hit. Like I said, it's a very samurai-esque sort of thing for people who may watch like a lot of anime or just samurai battles. There's always that thing where, you know, the two people run at each other at the same time and there's just a slash and one person falls. And I feel like that's kind of what we got in that moment. It was definitely the styling of that where they, like I said, they already had their really big battles. They've had so many battles, it's insane. I mean, they've had battles with each other. They've gone through battles with other very important characters within the Star Wars universe. And finally, it all comes down to this last moment. And as short as it was still absolutely amazing. And the tension, just the tension building up to that, where it was very, is all, you know, and this has been said a million times about Star Wars, it's both samurai as well as Western. And then leading up to it was very Western, where it was the draw. You know, they had their lightsabers at the ready, but then they draw at each other, and it's just done. It's done just like that. And even though it wasn't too visually represented, because of course with that vertical slash, for a second I was like, are we going to see like an actual split for a second? But I don't know if Disney will let that one happen. Even without that, it was still an amazing ending to an absolutely amazing character. And like I said, I've never rooted for a villain so much, and it really does suck to see Darth Maul go, because he was like one of the coolest things ever made in the Star Wars universe. Of course, he's like one of the best things out of the entire prequel trilogy was Darth Maul, and just when they brought him back in Clone Wars, it was absolutely amazing. Everything they went through with that and his history and getting a family and running bounty hunters, which, you know, they've referenced some of that. For those of you who may not have seen him in Clone Wars, who, if you just never watched Clone Wars, you started here, you gotta watch Clone Wars. Like, there's so much epic stuff with Darth Maul, it's absolutely insane. Like, you just probably wouldn't believe it. Like, it's stuff you couldn't even imagine if you just see this character from either this show or just, you know, in the episode 1. It's stuff you just wouldn't even imagine for this type of character. But sad to see a character like that go. Really loved him, really loved the ending for that, and I loved how they had certain nods to the original films. Like I said, as far as Obi-Wan saying what he was to Ezra, it was definitely him. It was an easy way for them to kind of skirt around him saying it's from a certain point of view, but I'm like, that's definitely what he was saying right there. It's like, oh, it's the truth in a certain way like this. So I like that, and what I was mentioning with Return of the Jedi, it was very similar to when Darth Vader was talking with Luke during their final battle, and they have kind of a lull during their fight, and that's when Vader starts to kind of sense certain things, and he's like, oh, that's when he realizes that Leia exists, and that, you know, Luke and Leia are sisters, and he's like, well, if you won't turn to the dark side, then perhaps she will. And that was kind of the feeling I got when Maul mentioned that. It's like, you're not here just to get away, you're here protecting something or someone. So I really enjoyed that, like, kind of just using the Force to kind of vibe off of someone's senses, and I thought that was really cool that they touched on that. But really great episode, man. Like I said, visually that was one thing I wasn't even thinking about. Visually, this was a great episode. Just the stuff with Ezra just being alone in the desert with Chopper, or broken down Chopper when he's kind of sad and stuff, and the scene where it's a big landscape shot and they're just walking across. Visually striking, for sure, and also Obi-Wan and Maul posing towards the end was really good as well. But phenomenal episode. Of course, like I said, Sam Witwer, really loved you as an actor in this, as well as Clone Wars. Been a big fan for a long time. Sucks to see you go in this. Sam Witwer, for anyone who doesn't know, he dies in like everything. It's crazy. Like, he's been stabbed in like 98% of the stuff he's acted in. It's really funny. But I like Sam Witwer as an actor, and it sucks to see him go from here. But it was good that we got him. We got him in 2 different parts of the Star Wars universe with Force Unleashed, and now bringing us a second life to an awesome character that was seemingly killed off in Episode 1. So, brought a lot to the Star Wars universe and some of the craziest and most powerful characters that the universe has actually seen, even if Starkiller is no longer a part of the canon. So it's really cool, and it sucks to see him go from the show, but I've been a big fan of him. I'll see him in Days Gone, which is a game coming out that he's going to be in a zombie game, so with him as the main character, I'm pretty sure he'll live in that. So I'm really looking forward to him surviving an entire experience. So that's really good, because for anyone who may have watched Being Human, he died in that a million times, but he was also, that's a crazy show. It's really good. The American version. I didn't watch the UK version, but I love the American version. But man, a good episode. Of course, I would love to know what you guys thought about this one. How you guys feel about the final battle? Were you disappointed that we didn't see more? Are you fine with what we got? Do you feel like me, where honestly, as much as I love action, I can't believe I'm fine with that. Just the way it happened, I was like, there's so much between these 2 characters. A couple of strikes and a final blow like that in the course of, that was what, 3 seconds long? Maybe 5? Once, the lightsaber started swinging. And it was perfect. It still just felt perfect to me. So it's really crazy that, for me, who's always like super action hungry, I'm fine with that. Some just very poignant moments work, and I personally feel like that one did. So I would love to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. I will be doing a full review of this if you guys are even remotely interested in that. You can check that out. But I don't know, I think I'll just pretty much be hyped like this, so you can just enjoy this. But if you're interested, I'll have a link in the description for that. But like I said, I definitely want to know what you guys thought about this episode. I really want to have some back and forth with you guys. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.